and welcome to another episode in Your Property Matters. And today, joining me live on Zoomcast is Tyler from Bear's Workshop. Hello, Tyler.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. You look all relaxed there, and I love all your tools behind you there. Looks like you're getting ready to start work.
Yeah, well, I did start this morning, and then sort of the alarm went off on my phone saying I've got this Zoom call. So I sort of tried to make everything look nice,
Oh,
and then sort of ran to the table.
Thank you. Thanks. It does look good. So you are sort of my first most obscure person that I'm Zoomcasting with, because generally I speak to, I'm speaking to solicitors and mortgage brokers and people like that are really, really in your face to do with property. But I've decided to sort of go down this pathway after we met and had a chat and talk about every different element that there is to do with buying property. And a big part about buying a property is furniture and furnishings and all that sort of thing. So to start off with, talk to me a little bit about who you are, Tyler, and who is Bear's Workshop.
So obviously I'm Tyler. I own Bear's Workshop. It was actually, I mean, the name was like an off the cuff thing because my wife calls me Bear, and I knew that I always wanted to go into sort of carpentry work because I am a qualified carpenter. And we were in Durban, South Africa a few years ago, and I sort of decided that I wanted to start my business. And my wife, sort of being my biggest supporter, just said, "Yeah, just do it." And she calls me Bear. I had a workshop. It sort of kind of made sense. But I make bespoke furniture. I was doing a few refurbs, and some of the clients wanted like tables and shelving made, and that I found my passion in that.
Right. Okay.
I enjoyed that more than putting hanging doors and doing skirtings. But you think bespoke furniture is like is a very varied thing because you can have fitted furniture, you can have custom tables, yeah, and sort of that's where Bear's Workshop came from.
Yeah.
And one of the funny things is I actually decided to start the business at the very start of a global pandemic, which was great.
Snap. I know. Same with me as well. It's the best time to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I found as well is that it gives you all, because when we entered into this pandemic, actually it's the first time I thought about the word pandemic. It's like panic, isn't it? It's very similar.
Yeah.
And you sort of just, all of a sudden I found myself at home thinking, and in the first few weeks it was like, oh wow, this is great, I'm being paid to stay at home. And I remember listening to radio shows and people saying, oh, I can't believe it, we're being paid just to stay at home and do nothing. And then this doing nothing lark became really boring. I mean, it was beautiful and sunny, I had the best suntan at first and the garden was incredible, but then after a while you start to think, what else could I do? Could I do something else? And because you're being, in a way, because you are being paid, it gives you time to think. You haven't got that pressure, or I can't make that jump or that move to a different career. And I have to say that that's when I started feeling about also starting up my business as an agent completely on my own. So I completely get that.
Because I don't see people going back to office jobs, anytime soon.
Yeah. Agreed.
And the only case I can go by is my wife. She's been at home since March last year. So our study is a functioning study. It's actually, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but it's really nice, and it's a nice room to be in.
Yeah, do you know, it's the same with me. I mean, I'm not standing outside in my front garden talking to you at the moment with my lovely house behind me in real life.
I really thought you was. You fooled me.
But I've also been at home since March, and this is the spare bedroom, which is now the office, and it looks nothing like a bedroom. The bed's gone, everything's gone, and it is now a complete office. I took all the furniture I had from my actual office, and it's now in here, and it's all fitted in here really well, and painted the walls, and it's all functional, and I love it. It's amazing. And you haven't got
that's one good thing. No, you don't. But I find that people who don't have to travel now say, well, normally it would take me an hour to get home, so I can spend an extra hour working.
Completely. So then look, let's talk about your furniture itself, bespoke furniture. So yeah, what are some of the most popular misconceptions that people have with bespoke handmade furniture?
So I think, well, I think I actually, I know the biggest one is cost. Everyone thinks having a piece of bespoke furniture costs an absolute fortune,
Hmm.
and it doesn't. It only costs more if you want more done to it.
Yeah, yeah,
For a case in point, you could go to Oak Furniture Land, for example,
yeah, yeah.
and see a dining table, and
Mhm.
that dining table is going to cost you, I don't know, £1,000
Yes.
because it's oak,
Hmm.
but your budget's only £400. Well,
Hmm.
you could have the exact same table made, not exactly the same, because obviously wood's very different, but you could have that made from recycled scaffolding boards,
Yeah, yeah,
and you could still, and that you could have that for less than £400.
yeah,
So I think that that's a massive one. The, it also comes down to as well. A lot of people have this IKEA mentality
hmm,
where they see a piece in IKEA, say they see a table and four chairs for £100, and they want you to make that, but they want you to use like walnut or maple or something like that. I physically cannot compete with that because the material cost alone is going to be triple
right. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
what that is.
Hmm.
So IKEA and I mean even Argos now
Hmm.
is you it's furniture for convenience.
Yeah,
But one thing I do have to say about bespoke furniture is that it is bespoke. There is no other piece like that. You have a one of a kind piece. But if you've got like an alcove in your house and you want a bespoke countertop put in,
hmm.
you're not going to find that at IKEA. You're going
No,
to have it made. So another misconception, which is semi-related to cost, is time.
right. Okay.
Some people, I was very naive to this when I first started, is that you don't realize how long something takes to make.
Hmm. Hmm.
So at present, I'm currently making a dining table, and the material that I've got for that dining table has been resting up, for 17 years
Right.
by the merchant, and it's now resting up here for 2 months before I
Right.
even touch it.
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, well, I need this coffee table by next week,
Hmm.
you're on the Monday, and they say I need it by the following Monday. I I could do it, but I guarantee within 6 months there's going to be a lot of wood movement. It's not going to look exactly the way you want. The finish won't be great because it hasn't had time to adapt to the climate of the UK. It's just there's
Very
so many
interesting.
factors that come into it. So when you're buying bespoke furniture, you're literally buying. It's going to sound a bit corny, but you're going to buy the love that I have for that piece of furniture, because when it goes
Yeah.
to your home and
Hmm.
you start all your stories, there's already 13, 14 years of my stories in there and the mistakes I've made to
Yes.
make it
Yeah.
look the way it does. Um, yeah, so that's one thing that I do want to say, and that goes with any tradesman.
I
If
like
if
that.
you get if you get a plumber coming out to your house and he's got 30 years experience and he's charging you £300-400 a day, I guarantee like you're going to get the best plumber you've ever had, sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You're so right.
So
I love that. That is great. Right. So, what sort of pieces do you make? You talk about cabinets and coasters and tables. What sort of other things have you done?
so
What's
I've made some quite bizarre pieces.
Yeah.
Um, I I mainly do chairs, tables, benches, because they're the functional pieces. They're the pieces that everyone wants. I
Yeah.
mean, bedside tables, sideboards. But then you do get some weird, bizarre. I once was asked to build a pagoda in a back garden,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
um,
Nice.
out of red oak. Um, and they said their budget, and I laughed at it, but in myself, so they didn't see obviously me laughing, because the material alone was their budget.
Right. Okay.
And they wanted it within 3 months.
Mhm.
And I mean, it was physically impossible
Yeah.
to do. So I've also been asked, I got asked to make a bathtub out of wood once.
A what? Sorry?
A bathtub?
A bathtub out of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Um,
I'm just sort of. All I'm thinking of, as you're saying it, is like a hollowed out tree trunk, basically.
pretty much that. Yeah. It's you do get some weird, but I do fitted furniture as well.
Good. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and the fitted furniture happens a lot quicker,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's made out of, you know, MDF or plywood,
Mm.
and because their MDF is like it's not wood, it's machined dense fiber just glued together, and plywood is very thin sheet. It's already set and it's
Yes.
flat.
Well, do you know what? It's funny you talk about that. So, in my experience, what I find, I'll show people a property, and they will like the property. You know, they go looking around and thinking, "Oh, this is fantastic. This is great. It ticks nearly every one of our boxes. We would love to offer on it." And then all of a sudden, you see the penny drop, and you think, "What's wrong?" And they'll say something like, "Well, because of the shape of the living room, you know, we've got this great sort of like 6-8 seater whatever dining room table, and I can't see how it could actually fit there." So, and then you think to yourself, well, are they actually not going to buy the property because the dining room table won't fit, considering it ticks every other box? I mean, I can understand it if it was, you know, a 100-year-old table that's gone through their family, but if it's something that they're trying to work around, you know, or they talk about the fact that they can't see how they're going to be able to get the wardrobes up the stairs, you know, and to get it into the bedroom just because of the shape of the staircase and things like that. And it always comes to be, well, 1 minute, why don't you then, I always think, well, why would you not buy new? You know, when you're talking about spending, I don't know, 500, 600,000 pounds on a property, why would you not buy new? That's one of the, but also after chatting to you, and meeting you and chatting to you, thinking, well, it's a great idea. Why don't they actually get something built from scratch to actually fit into the space? And what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's actually a great idea. I think when it comes to fitted furniture, as you said, if you're spending, you know, 4, 5, 600,000 on a house,
Yeah,
regardless if it's mortgaged or not, or you're buying it outright, and you've got a dining table that's cost you £300, and you're worrying if that's going to fit in your kitchen, I think your priorities are a bit, skewed.
So if I was showing someone a property, and they were questioning whether their furniture would fit in it, I would probably ask you if you wouldn't mind coming down and having a look, and maybe have a viewing at some point with them, and giving them ideas of what they could put in. How would you feel about that?
I think you've just found a gap in the market. I really do. I think, yeah, I mean, that's a great, I mean, ultimately the answer would be yes, because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be nice to, you know, as I said before, buying a house is a big moment. And if you're slightly put off because you don't know what's going to go there, but you've got someone that does that for a living that can say, hold on, you could have this.
Yes.
This could be like this. You know, I think that would actually work.
So we've got your phone number here if anybody wants to get in contact with you, Tyler. If anybody wanted to see any of your work that you've already completed, how would they go about doing that?
So you can check out my Instagram, which is at Bears Workshop UK. And I do showcase some of my pieces there. My website as well, bearsworkshop.co.uk. That has pieces. They have previous pieces. Obviously, they don't have the pieces I haven't built yet.
Yeah.
So
they're in your head.
Yeah, they're up there. So I specialize in sort of traditional modern. So I take traditional designs and I try to bring them into the 21st century.
Yeah.
I do use a lot of reclaimed materials.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I don't feel the need that you need to cut down a tree
Yeah.
to make a table if there's already pieces from a table that you can turn into a new table.
Good for you. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I just try to, bears live in the woods. I want to keep the woods for the bears,
Oh, great. Very good. Well, listen, okay, thank you very much for joining me today. It's really interesting.
Thank you.
Really interesting, and you've given me lots of ideas. And I hope out there, you people that are listening to this Zoomcast, thinking, "Oh, I wouldn't mind having a cabinet made, or a new dining table, or anything, side tables," and we'll get in contact with Tyler at Bears Workshop.